Whoa, is there something out there on the wing? Wait a minute, a New Shepard doesn't have any wings. Well, hey everybody, I'm Marquette and so glad you're joining us here at the American Space Museum video podcast called Stay Curious. And we've got some information for you here on today's show to bridge the space between us. We're so glad that you're tuned in to our American Space Museum here in Titusville, Florida. We're wide open and welcome you to come to our museum anytime. You won't regret it. But today on our program, we've got a little bit of space history, something that's just rocking the Twitter universe that Jessica Galloway, our chief engineer behind the scenes, she's a Star Trekkie. Thank you for all you do. Marty Winkle's behind the camera back in the saddle there. So we are all three happy to represent our wonderful museum and bring you this program weekdays at 4 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So please tell your friends to like us, follow us, share us, and subscribe to us because they won't regret it. You're going to get some content today that you're not going to get anywhere else in the universe. But let's kick it off here with, yes, this famous Twilight Zone program, Terror at 2,000 Feet, I think it was called, featured the great actor William Shatner of Star Trek fame, who says at age 90 he wants to take a trip to space on the Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket. And guess what? They've already got an October 12th announcement. Blue Origin has the two gentlemen that are going to go up, and there's two other people that they're teasing us might go. Is it going to be 90-year-old Shatner or not? What do you think, Jessica? Is this a real thing?
I think it is. All of Twitter thinks it is.
All of Twitter's just blowing up with this very popular actor. William Shatner's done so many voiceovers, and he's done a lot of course, commercials. He's quite a character. He just released a new album of his spoken word pieces, and it's called So Far From the Moon, and there's a track on there featuring Brad Paisley, the country star. I like Brad Paisley.
Hashtag send chat to space.
Yeah, hashtag send chat to space. He's 90 years old. To go to that 15-minute suborbital flight would make him a few years older than 82-year-old Wally Funk, the woman who went up with the 18-year-old Dutch physicist Oliver Damon. They went up 66 miles in space on July 20th with Jeff Bezos, of course, being our owner of Blue Origin, and his brother Mark. So, boy, this is exciting times we're at when a 90-year-old guy, famous like Shatner, is saying, you know what, if I make it back, I don't, good. If I don't, well, I've had a good life type of thing. Of course, we're pretty convinced that this Blue Origin New Shepard that's flown about 15 times, they've got that down pat. So we'll see how that works out there. Marty, what do you think? Is he going or not? Marty doesn't think so. Is he?
He's still 90.
90 years old.
I mean, Wally went.
Yeah. Well, the debate goes on, and guess what? October 12th is when they're scheduled to do this, about an 8 in the morning launch, okay? And Rocktober is just around the corner, Friday, so time's creeping up soon. So he hasn't had time to have barely a physical, probably, Shatner, to get involved with this. So we'll see how that all works out. But we also love to all stay curious with this beautiful image that I wonder if Robert Law saw over Ireland last night. How you doing, Robert? He's enjoying his cocktail in Dundee, Ireland. And this rocket, did I say Scotland? Oh, Scotland, okay. I'm going to start a war. Thanks for correcting me, Marty. I'm going to start a war between the Scots and the Brits in there. This is the launch of Landsat 9 yesterday morning from Vandenberg Air Force Base, a Landsat, very important mission spacecraft for not defense purposes, but to gauge, again, the Landsat programs has always looked at the Earth and the ecology of the Earth. This is the second stage deorbit burn over Ireland last night. And you say there was a comment, Jessica?
Yeah, Robert, he missed it, but he says that the Shat News, Bill was going with Virgin Galactic. He pulled out when the price went up. and it's apparently real. We'll
Good.
See what happens.
Yeah, he was willing to pay Shatner $200,000 to Sir Richard Branson and the Virgin Galactic, and then after that successful flight that they did early in July, he doubled the price to $400,000. So, but I think he's going to let Wally Funk go for the publicity of it. But yeah, a spectacular scene that a lot of my astronomy pages had this over the stargazers looking up over Europe last night, seeing the Landsat vehicle, the Landsat spacecraft being launched to space. It's the 2000th launch from the West Coast spaceport since 1958. And this series of Landsat satellites has helped farmers, urban planners, and climate scientists. And this will continue the imagery that is unbroken since 1972. And these are the spacecraft that give us the barometer, so to speak, the thermometer of how Earth is doing in our climate concerns. Yes, another comment.
I'm going to switch that mic and say a thing, because I used to live in Vandenberg. I was where we were stationed for 4 years. And moving to Florida and Space Coast, the difference in the hype between we're launching something in Florida versus another launch in California was it was weird for me, because everybody's so hyped about and excited because it's the backyard of the space program here. But in California, just another, test or whatever. So it's an interesting parallel, the East Coast versus West Coast.
So the West Coast is a little blasé, apathetic, you say, where here on the Space Coast we're always excited.
Too, because it's all base.
And it's all military, and these are military payloads. That's why Vandenberg was built, to go to the polar orbit, so the Earth turns underneath them, and you can get more. You don't have to move your spacecraft around to go over certain areas of the Earth. It's easier to do that. Well, very interesting. And we're going to have Jessica share more about her experience with her husband, Troy, at Vandenberg. He's a space worker, and we'll have him on one day. And we're just so pleased that we're attracting so many quality people to this program that Marty and I started in March 22, born out of 2020, born out of the pandemic on a cell phone. And here we are. We've invested several $1,000s in new equipment, and we've got support from you all out there to help you all stay curious. Well, we've got a birthday that we're going to whiz by here that we didn't get yesterday, because Mondays is Stargazer Mark Day, teaching you how to use telescopes. But happy birthday to this young lady, Stephanie Wilson, 55 years old yesterday, born in Boston, Massachusetts. Are we looking at here the first woman on the moon? Because she is an active astronaut on the Artemis program. And wouldn't that be cool? Not only the first woman, but a woman of color going on the moon. At age 55, I don't know if that's pushing the envelope, but we know there's 3 or 4 women in the running to be the first woman on the moon, with another man going to the moon. Maybe it'll be a man of color, maybe a woman of color. But it doesn't matter. We're colorblind here at the American Space Museum, and we just love it that we're going back to the moon with a man and a woman. And but Stephanie Diane Wilson was born in Boston on September 27th, 1966. So she's double nickel, 55 years old. She has the second African-American woman to go to space. Mae Jemison, of course, the first. And her 42 days in space is the most of any female African-American astronaut. She was in space. Now get this, she went to space on STS-121 in July 2006. And then a year later, October 2007, she went to space on STS-120. Yes, 121 was launched before 120. They give them numbers. Sometimes it works out in order. Sometimes a payload has to be pulled, or something wrong with the orbiter that delays the mission. And her last mission was in 2010, STS-131. Stephanie Wilson, proud astronaut of our Corps. She has been on Discovery Orbiter. OV-103 is that orbiter's tail number. And that was her 3 flights, coincidentally, on Discovery. So hope that she gets to go back to the moon, and we do wish a happy birthday to her. And how about this surprise birthday, Marty? That, folks, is astronaut Mark Kelly. That's the bald guy. And he's with Christopher Mick. Hello, Christopher Mick, and surprise to you, his birthday was yesterday also. And he turned, I think he's 53 years old, maybe 55. I forget, Marty. He's a lot younger than us. But we wanted to give a shout out to one of our good followers on Stay Curious, Christopher Mick. I think he was born in San Francisco. At least his Facebook page says he is from San Francisco. But in Hudson, Wisconsin, this young man is a STEAM programmer and a librarian at the Hudson Area Library in Wisconsin. He's a solar system ambassador, and he's executive director at Space St. Croix. So, surprise, Christopher Mick, Marty?
Check out his lapel pin.
Yeah, he's got a shuttle lapel pin on there. And it looks like he's got another on his vest there that might be Mark Kelly's mission there. STS-131, that looks like. So we love all of you that follow our program and support us and are telling your friends about it. You've really made a difference here at our Space Museum, and believe you me, our board of directors knows how much Stay Curious means to you all following us. So happy birthday, Christopher Mick, there with Mark Kelly. And we're going to segue into that a week from Saturday is the American Space Museum's auction number 17. Wow. I think I started involvement with an auction 5. This is how we keep the doors open, folks, is our collections analyst, Chuck Jeffrey, has learned the auction trade. He spent 30 years trading space memorabilia. He not only knows memorabilia, he knows astronaut autographs. He's one of the world's authorities of what this stuff costs, and he has made our American Space Museum one of the top 5 auction houses for space memorabilia. So October 9th, starting at noon, it's going to be online only. Go to our website, americanspacemuseum.com, and you will see the link at the top. It says auctions, and go there and you can register. And you can pre-bid and view things right now, all right, on auctions there. Got the birthday there, Marty. I'm going to go to wide open there to show it big and show you a couple other items. These are all auto pens of various lithographs of astronauts. Good to collect. That whole collection's up for sale. That's easily worth a couple $100, even though they're auto pens. So please check it out. Go to our website, go up at the auction tab. You'll find the link to go to the website where you can register and pre-bid on any of these items right now. And there's some really goodies there. I saw there's a lot of early Kennedy Space Center stuff there, some aviation stuff on there that Chuck's got on there. And we're going to have Chuck on our webs here at Stay Curious the Tuesday before the August 9th auction, which is Saturday. And finally, Space News Florida. There is Space Florida. That is their logo that coincidentally is tucked into our view out of the Blue Origin window there. And we have that up there because there's going to be some green on this. It's going to make our green screen crazier. That's not too bad, Jessica.
Because it's not that popular.
2,000 more jobs at Kennedy Space Center. All right. 2,000 jobs at Kennedy Space Center on Merritt Island. What has happened yesterday is Space Florida lands a satellite manufacturer, Terrain Orbital, to build a 600,000 square foot facility, 660,000 square feet. That's like 5 football fields end to end. $30 million to build this satellite facility. They're going to build 1,000 satellites a year, and guess what? That is going to employ 2,100 workers with jobs that are going to average $84,000. All right. I've been telling you, all young people out there, forget the liberal arts education that I got when we all wanted to be Woodwards and Bernstein and be journalists like I was. Forget that. There's no money in that. You want to be an engineer, okay? And stay curious, learn engineering, because these are the jobs that pay the best. And man, we congratulate Dale Ketchum and his whole team. Dale Ketchum is one of the Space Florida people that has brought in these jobs, with Frank DeBillo as the chairman of the board. Familiar with both those gentlemen. We've had Dale on the show here. Maybe we'll get him back. We'll get Dale back, or one of the other people from Space Florida, to talk about this big investment, 2,000 more jobs at Kennedy Space Center. Things are just rocking and rolling like you can't believe it. The last 4 years I've been here at the Space Coast, I've noticed the impact that's been made by SpaceX and Blue Origin bringing new people into the area. And these young people that are in their 30s, like Jessica Galloway, our computer engineer here, and her husband, are what the future holds for just not our Space Coast, but Space Florida. In fact, there was another story yesterday that they're thinking of changing the Brevard County name to Space Coast County, which would be a huge boom to all of the advertising and logarithmics. All you do is just, because people Google Space Coast to see what's happening here. And if this was Space Coast County, Florida, instead of Brevard County, we love Brevard County. Brevard County is the delivery room of America's space age right here in Florida, and we're just 10 miles in that direction away from those where the operating tables and so forth of all the technicians and engineers like Marty Winkle, who worked on the Grumman lunar module and then spent 30 years on the space shuttle engines for the launch process services. And then Marty he never quits. He's devoted his life to his marathon running business that he had for many years and helping the American Space Museum stay afloat. Marty, you've been a great asset to our museum, and we love you for it, and we love you more that you want to be involved in Stay Curious. Couldn't do it without him, and so glad that he's with us today. But who's going to be with us tomorrow is this gentleman, Steve Kane. Steve Kane is the executive director of Space Tech, and he was a space shuttle quality engineer. You're going to enjoy the conversation we're going to have tomorrow with my friend Steve Kane here on Stay Curious. Steve has got some great stories to tell, but he's also got a great perspective because of what's going on in the Space Coast, because his space tech company qualifies and tests just not aerospace engineers, but aviation engineers. And these are the tests of the all the systems, the things you have to know, the tools you have to use, the calibrations you have to do. He's a quality guy, and he's going to have some cool quality stories to tell us about the space shuttle tomorrow. So stay curious tomorrow with Steve Kane. A great conversation with a good guy you're not going to want to miss on Stay Curious. And our oral histories are made possible by the Marie Louise G. West Endowment. And that's why we will be bringing Steve to you tomorrow on a wonderful conversation, not just about his career as a wonderful space engineer on the shuttle, but what is happening here on the Space Coast, because his company is testing these new employees coming in so that when Terrain Orbital wants to hire you, you've been cleared and have the certificate in your hand that you're cleared to do that type of work. Very fascinating to me what Steve does, and you're going to love it. And it's all about helping you stay curious. So on behalf of our wonderful museum here, Jessica and Marty helping us do another Stay Curious program, I'm Mark Marquette. Join us tomorrow with Space Shuttle worker Steve Kane to bridge the space between us. Oh, I'm going to